Okay, so today at the Texas Motor Speedway, they will give their 100,000th COVID vaccination. A lot of shots for an operation that started about a month ago at this point. They've been busy. Here in Dallas County, a new mega site, though. This one is at a mega church. It'd have to be big considering how many people are lining up to get the vaccine. Eric Alvarez live this morning at the Potter's House in Dallas with details on what this is going to look like, Eric.
Yeah, good morning, Kara. We're expecting to learn more about the operations here at a 9 a.m. press conference with the city of Dallas. But here's what I'm seeing right now. The tents are up. American Medical Response is here this morning, and some teams are setting up barriers and cones at the entrance in preparation for vaccine recipients that are already starting to show up here at the Potter's House, one of the largest churches in the state of Texas, soon to become the next vaccination site for the city of Dallas. Now, Mayor Eric Johnson reaching out to residents on Next Door yesterday, saying vaccines will be available here by appointment only and encouraging residents to register at dallascountycovid.org. The vaccine site here at the Potter's House will use a QR code system and will be reserved for first doses only. Anyone due for a second dose will most likely get it at the K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center downtown. Now, the mayor will be here later this morning alongside representatives from the Potter's House, American Medical Response, and Dallas Emergency Management. Once again, that press conference is coming up at 9 a.m. You can follow along at WFAA.com. We'll also update you a little bit later at our midday newscast at 11 a.m. Kara, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. So vaccines are the biggest weapon against COVID-19, and many people consider masks a solid way to protect yourself and others. Health and wellness reporter Sonia Azad joining us this morning, answering your questions following the decision to drop the mask mandate in Texas. And you've been talking to doctors and different health officials since this new requirement or new order came down from the governor.
Yeah, so I want to talk this morning a little bit about the intersection between vaccines and masks, because there are a lot of good questions emerging from this. I did speak with Dr. Mark Casanova, the past president of the Dallas County Medical Society, for an hour on Facebook Live, answering your questions. So we talked about vaccines, first of all, Group 1C, who that includes and when they'll be able to register or perhaps even get vaccines, and just really the whole vaccination process, which has been different in different places, as we know. Also, the differences between vaccines themselves, so Pfizer and Moderna, which use the mRNA technology, and then the more traditional vaccine, as we know it, the way Johnson & Johnson was made. So also, we talked about why it's important to continue to wear a mask even after you're fully vaccinated. This was a very common question.
It's because of that unknown of, listen, we know the vaccine is very effective. All three that are on the market now are very, very effective. Matter of fact, just rock stars in the arena of vaccination efficacy. They really are. But it's that unknown is, could you acquire it and still pass it to a loved one? So again, rolling data on that.
So you can watch my complete 1-hour conversation with Dr. Mark Casanova on my Facebook page. We also addressed some questions about one side effect that people are starting to talk more about, and that is swelling in the lymph nodes as a side effect from vaccine. I'm going to talk more about that coming up in my health check in about 10 minutes or so. We'll see you then. Mark, back to you.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you, Sonia. It is 6:36, time for your morning rush this Thursday, and Texas's power grid operator has fired its president and CEO in the wake of last month's winter storm and power outages. The ERCOT board gave CEO Bill Magnus a 60 days termination notice last night, and during that time, he'll work with state leaders and regulators on some possible reforms to ERCOT. Earlier this week, the chair of the Public Utility Commission resigned, and 5 ERCOT board members stepped down last week. The House of Representatives just passed a massive voting rights bill. Democrats say it would prevent corruption, improve campaign finance transparency, and make it easier for more people to vote. Now, if it passed the Senate, this would be the largest overhaul of election law in the United States in decades. And get this, teachers are now eligible to get the COVID vaccine in Texas. They have certainly been lobbying for that for a while. The state is following federal guidelines and expanding who's eligible to get vaccinated. In addition to teachers, we're talking bus drivers, school staff, and child care providers as well. Texas has more than 350,000 teachers, and boy, that vaccine wait list still long.